Meera from Institute of Aeronautical Engineering, Assistant Professor of Freshman Engineering in Department of Mathematics. Today, I would like to tell how to solve higher order differential equations. Before going to the solutions of higher order differential equations, we have to learn many segregations, how to divide a differential equation, so that to choose an appropriate solutions, because all differential equations cannot be solved by single method. The method of solving differential equations depends upon its order, degree, linear, non-linear, homogeneity, non-homogeneity, so on and so forth. So we have to learn about all these topics before going to the exact solutions of higher order differential equations. Before going to the solutions, why this is necessary and how it is necessary, let us know about it. A differential equation is an equation involving derivatives of an unknown functions and possibly the functions itself as well as the independent variables. Unlike the elementary mathematical concepts like addition, subtraction, division, multiplication, percentage, which are used on day-to-day basis, but the differential equations in generally does not have any day-to-day usage. But it has its wide range of applications in engineering, biology, physics, chemistry, etc. In biology, it is used to find out the bacteria growth and decay, that is the natural growth and decay of bacteria. And in physics, it is used to find out the body temperature using Newton's laws of cooling. And in engineering, some of the applications like electrical circuits, deflection, magnetic beams, and simple harmonic motions are the familiar examples where the higher order differential equations are most widely used. So in this module, we are going to study about the methods of solving higher order differential equations. First of all, we have the introduction to linear differential equations of second order with constant coefficients. In the next step, we are going to learn the solutions to homogeneous differential equations. In the third stage, we are going to learn how to solve non-homogeneous types of different functions. When f of x is exponential function, how to solve it, and when f of x is trigonometrical function, how to get the solution, and when f of x is a multiple of a trigonometrical and binomial and power function x to the power of n, how to find the solution. So all these varieties we are going to learn in non-homogeneous, that's the third part of the system. And the last concept is method of variation of parameters, which is special method for solving second order differential equations. This has its own specifications, and that we are going to learn it in the last topic. So before going to the solution, I have said that we have to get an idea of what do you mean by order and what is a degree, and when a differential equation is said to be linear, when a differential equation is said to be non-linear, so on and so forth. A differential equation, I have said it before, is an equation involving derivatives of unknown functions and possibly the function itself as well as the independent variable. Now, let's go with an example. Y dash is equal to sin x. Y dash is nothing but dy by dx. Dy by dx is equal to sin x, where dy by dx is a first order differential equation. And the next example, y dash whole to the power of 4 minus y square plus 2xy minus x square is equal to 0. Y double dash plus y cube plus x is equal to 0 is a second order differential equation. So these are all the examples, and we have innumerable number of differential equations that we face in our engineering subjects. Now, what is a degree? Or the order and degree plays very important role in choosing the solutions of higher order differential equations. The order is nothing but the number of times and dependent variable is differentiated with respect to independent variable. In the above case where I have given an example, y dash is equal to sin x, we have the order is 1, and in the third case y double dash, the order is 2. So the order of a differential equation is highest order of the derivatives of the unknown function appearing in the equation. In the simplest cases, equations may be solved by direct integration in simple cases. Now, when a differential equation is said to be linear and when a differential equation is said to be non-linear, most of the terms in the differential equation consists of this derivative. Here the n value will represent the order and m value will represent the degree. Based on the values of m and n, the linearity and non-linearity of the differential equations can be mentioned. If both m and n are equal to 1, I'll repeat, when both m and n are equal to 1, then that type of differential equation is said to be linear first order, first degree differential equation. When m is equal to 1 and n is greater than 1, then that type of differential equation is called higher order differential equations, that is a linear higher order differential equation. The linearity means that the power is 1 and higher order means that the order n is greater than 1. The methods of solving the first order is completely different from the methods of solving higher order differential equations, and even these methods will differ when the differential equations are linear and non-linear. All the methods of learning the linear and non-linear and the higher order differential equations are completely different. If m is equal to 1 and n is equal to 1, then the differential equation is called first order, first degree linear differential equation. If m is equal to 1 and n is greater than 1, then the differential equation is called higher order differential equation. If m is greater than 1, then the differential equation is non-linear differential equation. The non-linear differential equation have different type of methods of solving. Now let's go look for the classification of differential equation. Now let's look into the meaning of each word in the classification path. Order of the differential equation is explained in the following illustration. I have taken an illustration, a third order differential equation. D cube y by dx cube minus 3d square y by dx square plus dy by dx minus 2y is equal to 0. Here the numerator y is independent variable and denominator x is a dependent variable. Y is a function of f of x. Y is a function of x. This differential equation is third order differential equation. This differential equation is third order differential equation. I have said it before that the order is nothing but the highest derivative appearing in the differential equation. The highest order is nothing but 3. Okay, so these order 3 will play the order of the differential equation, and x is a independent variable and y is a dependent variable. Now differential equations, all equations may not represent the differential equations. Okay, and a differential equation can be represented in number of ways. Now the first and second differential equations are same. The first and second differential equations are same, but the way they are represented are different. Here the differential equation is represented by y dash. The y dash can also be called as d square y by dx square. Both are one and the same. A equation can be represented in y double dash plus y dash minus 2y, or elaborately expanded form we can write it as d square y by dx square plus dy by dx minus 2y is equal to 3. Both are the differential equation. Now go to the third example. Y square plus y to the power of minus 1 minus 2y is equal to 0. This is not the differential equation because he doesn't have any derivative, and y you have it is in inverse, the power of y is inverse. And the third one, y double dash plus y dash minus 2y even this is also not a differential equation, because even though it has derivatives, but it is not the equation. We don't have any equality here. So we don't call this the third, fourth example as a differential equation. Now, going to the next path of segregation, that is homogeneous and non-homogeneous differential equation. When a differential equation is called homogeneous and when a differential equation is called non-homogeneous. Now, look at the first equation, Pn of x into y to the power of n, where y to the power of n represents the nth derivative of y with respect to x, that is dny by dx to the power of n. Instead of writing dny by dx to the power of n, we are simply denoting in the form of y to the power of n. So this is the second, the highest derivative, that is y raised to the power of n minus 1th derivative, that is y n minus 1 d of n minus 1 y by dx to the power of n minus 1, so on so forth. And this is a general form of representing a higher order differential equation. And here Pn of x, Pn minus 1 of x, P1 of x and P naught of x, these are called as a coefficients. And these coefficients may be constants or may be variables. These coefficients may be constants and may be variables. If they are constants, the method of solving this equation, this differential equation, is different if these are variables. That is, the method of solving the variable coefficient differential equation and constant coefficient differential equations are completely different. And here, coming to the actual this thing, that is homogeneous and non-homogeneous differential equation. If the differential equation does not have any function of independent variable on the right hand side, that is 0, we have 0, then it is called homogeneous differential equation. All terms has the derivatives of y or y itself. There is no term that is based on the function of x itself. So it is called homogeneous differential equation. Going to the second equation, Pn of x into y to the power of n plus Pn minus 1 of x into y to the power of n minus 1, so on so forth, up till P naught of x into y is equal to r of x. Here you can see r of x is a independent function, but in the above case we don't have any independent function. So here this equation is called non-homogeneous differential equations. So remember guys, whenever you don't have any independent function on the right hand side, then it is homogeneous. When you have any function on the right hand side, then it is non-homogeneous differential equation. Now again, one more segregation. How to separate different ordinary differential equations and a partial differential equation. What is the difference between ordinary and partial differential equation? All these segregations, all these separations that we have to make it in your brain while attempting the solution of any differential equation. All differential equations are not equal. Based on the order and degree, based on the ordinary and partial differential equations, the method of solving it completely differs. Now I have taken the same example, two examples to show you what is the difference between the ordinary differential equation and partial differential equation. In the first example, d cube y by dx cube minus 3 into d square y by dx square plus dy by dx minus 2y is equal to 3. Here you can see in the first example, only two variables are maintained throughout the equation, that is y and x, and y is dependent variable and x is independent variable. You go to the second example, dou square u by dou x square plus dou square u by dou y square minus dou square u by dou x dou y is equal to 0, and this is partial differential equation. How to make a difference? How to know that a differential equation is ordinary or partial? Here the denominator, the number of independent variables are 2, that is x and y. U is dependent upon two variables, x and y. U is dependent upon the two variables, x and y. So it is partial differential equation. So the change of u is nothing but the change in either in x or in y, or sometimes both. So therefore the rate of change of a dependent variable with respect to the independent variable is nothing but the derivative. And here you have, since you have two independent variables, and this is no more an ordinary. As long as you have one independent variable, the equation is said to be ordinary, just like the first example. And when you have more than one independent variable, then the differential equation is said to be partial differential equation. And partial differential equation, we use dou, that is as a derivative symbol instead of d, small d. And the method of solving partial differential equations is also differ from ordinary differential equations. Now going to the methods of solving homogeneous differential equations. Before going to the homogeneous differential equations, we have to represent all equations in form of a general form, in terms of a general form. Then by comparing, we can able to get whether it is homogeneous or non-homogeneous, and how to go further to get the solution of higher order differential equations. Now the linear differential equation of second and higher order definition: an equation of the form d to the power of n y by dx to the power of n plus p1 of x into d to the power of n minus 1 by dx to the power of n minus 1 plus so on so forth up till pn of x into y is equal to q of x. Here p1, p2, p3 so on up till pn and q of x are either constants or functions of x, and these are called linear. Why it is called linear? Because the power here, the maintained, is nothing but 1. The power here, the whole to the power of 1. All terms containing the power 1. The order is decreasing. The highest order here it is n. The highest order is n. The nth order is going on decreasing, but the power of each term is maintained as 1. As long as the power of each term is 1, it is always linear. Okay, so it is this equation is nothing but the linear first order differential equation. Now it is in shortcut form. It is represented by d to the power of n. In all the problems of higher order, they are represented by capital D. Capital D is a representation for d by dx. So d by dx here, d by dx of y is represented by d to the power of n. So d to the power of n plus p1 of x into d to the power of n minus 1 plus p2 of x into d to the power of n minus 2 so on and so forth up till pn of x into y is equal to q of x. Okay, this is non-homogeneous differential equation because I have q term also here. Okay, so first of all, whatever question you have to change it in this standard form, then you have to go move further for the solutions of differential equation. Okay, and the general form of differential equation is f of d into y is equal to q of x. F of d is a function of d. Take all y variable as common and represent the bracket as f of d, function of d, and which is equal to q of x, a shortcut representation of differential equation. Now if q of x is equal to 0, then it is homogeneous differential equation. If q of x is not equal to 0, it is non-homogeneous differential equation. Now d is nothing but the derivative. 1 by d is nothing but the integral. D square is nothing but the double derivative. 1 by d square is nothing but the double integral. So on so forth. So d is the inverse, the 1 by d is the inverse operator for derivative. Integral is the inverse operator for derivative. Okay, when you have in the general equation, if q of x is equal to 0, then the differential equation is called homogeneous differential equations. So in the above equation, if I take q of x is equal to 0, then that type of equation is nothing but the homogeneous differential equation. Okay, and how to solve the homogeneous differential equation. Today we are going to learn how to solve the homogeneous differential equation. Actually, the differential equation, the non-homogeneous differential equation, the solution consists of two parts, that is complementary function and particular integral. Solution: y is equal to complementary function and plus particular integral. as you, for homogeneous differential equation, you have only yc part, and yp part will be equal to 0, since you don't have any q value over here. So for all the examples which I am going to take today, we have only yc part. How to get the complementary function. Now how to proceed further? Now to whatever equation you have, you change it in the f of d into y is equal to q, f of d into y is equal to q of x. That is, q of x is 0 because it's homogeneous. So you change it in the form of f of d into y is equal to 0. Now in f of d, you replace d by m. You replace capital D by m to get an auxiliary equation. So what is an auxiliary equation? A equation brought by replacing capital D by m, because D is an operator. It doesn't have any meaning. So we have to convert it to some variable. So has to find out roots. An operator does not have any root. So a variable will have some root. So that is why we are converting the given function in terms of m to find out the roots of the given homogeneous differential equation. So you write wherever capital D is there, you replace it by m and get the auxiliary equation. So this is auxiliary equation. So this auxiliary equation is nothing but f of small m is equal to 0. And try to solve this. Try to solve m values, and the number of values of m depends upon the order of the differential equation that is appeared. Okay, if it is second order, we will get 2 roots. The number of roots for m depends upon the number the order of the differential equation. If it is second order, then m is 2. If it is third order, if the given question is of third order, then the number of roots is 3, so on so forth. Okay, so like that, the number of roots it depends upon the order of the differential equation. I'll repeat once again the procedure. If whenever you don't have a q of x function in the right hand side, the homogeneous equation is the differential equation is called homogeneous. For homogeneous equations, we don't have to find out particular integral. We have to find out only complementary function. How to obtain the complementary function? Complementary function is obtained by solving auxiliary equation. What is auxiliary equation? An equation brought by replacing capital D is equal to some variable small m and getting the roots for f of m is equal to 0. The number of roots depends upon the order of the differential equation. Depending on the nature of the roots, we write the complementary function as follows. We have different varieties based on the roots. I said that the roots may be real and repeated, real and distinct, complex and repeated, complex and distinct, and a root may be assured. Okay, all these 5 varieties of roots we may get when you solve a differential equation. So how to write the complementary function? The number of the constants that are appearing in the solution should be equal to the order of the differential equation. Here you look, in all these things, C1, C2, C3 are the constants here. So the number of these constants should be equal to the order of the differential equation. Okay, and while solving the auxiliary equation, suppose if the roots are, n roots are there and they are real and distinct, then the complementary function is written as yc is equal to c1 e to the power of m1 of x plus c2 e to the power of m2 of x, so on so forth up till cn e to the power of mn of x. Okay, suppose you have m is equal to 1 and 2 are the roots. Then what is the complementary function? Yc is equal to c1 e to the power of x plus c2 e to the power of 2x. Okay, so 1 is nothing but the coefficient here, and 2 is nothing but the coefficient here, alpha and beta. C1 e to the power of alpha x plus C2 e to the power of beta x. So as many roots you are getting, that many constants you can write, and the product of which will represent the complementary function for real and distinct roots. Now going to the second this thing. Suppose if the roots are real and equal. Let us say that you have two equal roots. Let us say m is equal to 1 comma 1 comma 2. Here 1 is repeated twice. 1 is repeated twice. Then how to write the complementary function? Then complementary function yc is equal to, open the brackets, c1 plus c2x e power x. Okay, e power x plus c3 e power 2x. Okay, here I have the x value is increasing, x to the power of 0, x to the power of 1, so on and so forth. So there is no need to write this x to the power of 0 here. Okay, just it is if you write c1, it's enough instead of that. Okay, suppose if take one more example, m is equal to 1 comma 2 2 2. Okay, I have four roots in some equation, for some auxiliary equation. How to write the complementary function? So yc is equal to c1 e power x plus, open the brackets, c1 x to the power of 0, there is no need to write, plus c2 x to the power of 1 plus, because 2 is repeated thrice, so up till third power of x we have to give, c3 x to the power of 3, close the bracket, e to the power of 2x is nothing but the solution for this differential, homogeneous differential equation, which is bearing 1 2 2 2 2 as a roots. So this is how the complementary function for repeated roots are given. Okay, as many number of roots that are repeating, that many x values will be binomially increasing from left to right. Now going to the third x, suppose if my root is, I have taken, if the root is repeated thrice, then how to write the complementary function? Yc is equal to c1 plus c2x plus c3x square e to the power of mx plus c4 e to the power of m4x plus, and these are all distinct roots, and these three are the repeated roots, because I've said that m1 is repeated thrice. Okay, m1 is repeated thrice, and from the next root onwards there is non-repetitive distinct roots. So the repeated roots are put it in the bracket, and for the rest of the roots again the number of constants will be going on increasing. So this is how we have to write for the real roots. What about the complex roots? If our auxiliary equation has complex root, then how to write it? Let us take one example. 1 plus 2i, 1 plus r minus 2i. You all know that the complex function always appear as conjugates. We don't have any single complex. 1 plus 2i is a root. We can't tell like that. When 1 plus 2i is a root, 1 minus 2i also will exist. For example, you have d square plus 9 is equal to into y is equal to 0. So the auxiliary equation is m square plus 9 is equal to 0, and m is equal to plus or minus 3i. So in this way we have the auxiliary roots. Now here you have, whatever example I have taken, I have two roots here, that is plus 1 plus 2i, 1 minus 2i. Okay, 1 plus 2i is one root alpha, and 1 minus 2i, that is beta. 1 minus 2i is another root. Then how to write it? Now the real part is 1 here. The real part is 1, and this is the imaginary part. This is the 2 is the imaginary part. Now the real part is, suppose if alpha is the real part, e to the power of x, 1 is the real part. Open the brackets. C1 cos 2x plus C2 sin 2x. The imaginary part will act like the angle cos and sin, and the real part will come here, e power x. Okay, suppose if it is a and b. Okay, a we have here as a coefficient of the exponential, and this is nothing but the b part. So this is how we have to give the complement, that is a complementary function for the complex roots. Sometimes we'll get more than one complex root. Sometimes we'll get more than one complex root. For example, suppose I have an example. I have taken example d square plus 9 whole to the power of 2 is equal to 0. So order the here d square, if you expand this is nothing but d to the power of 4. Okay, of course y should be there, and d to the power of 4, that is nothing but fourth order differential equation. How many roots that it should have? It should have 4 roots. That is you have m is equal to plus or minus 3i and plus or minus 3i. Now we have repetition roots. Here we don't have any real part in the complex root here. We have only the imaginary part, that is 3i. Okay, sometimes we may not get the real part. Okay, there is no rule that we have to get the real part. Even if you get the imaginary part, the number it goes to as a complex root. Then how to give the complement, how to write the complementary function if the root bears these 4 complex roots? So it can be written as y is equal to e power 0x, because I have 0 here. I don't have any real part, so I am representing it by 0. Okay, now open the another small bracket, c1 plus c2x cos 3x plus c3 plus c4x sin 3x. So totally how many constants that we are getting here? C1, C2, C3, C4, and which is equal to the order of the differential equation. Remember that the number of constants should be always equal to the order of the differential equation, and this is the best example when the complex roots are repeated. Okay, so the complex roots are 3i plus 3i, which is repeated twice, and minus 3i, which is repeated twice. Now the last example, last variety, suppose if the root is a surd. If the root is a surd is nothing but the real number. If surd is also a real number, suppose plus or minus root 3, a irrational root, even they appear as a conjugate. When 2 plus 3i is a root, 2 plus root 3 is a root, 2 minus root 3 will also be a root. Even just like complex roots, even the surds appears as pairs. So how to write it? Either you can write as 2 plus root I, one real number, and another. Here we have 2 distinct roots. So you can write it as c1 e to the power of 2 plus root 3x plus c2. Here we have to get c1, c2 e to the power of 2 minus root 3x. So yc is nothing but c1 e to the power of 2 plus root 3x plus c2 e to the power of 2 minus root 3x. Otherwise, we can even write it in this form. This can also be written as e to the power of, take the integral part. This is a rational part, this is a integral part. This is a integral part, and this is the irrational root. Okay, irrational root. Now irrational value. So you can write it as, or you represent it as this as a and this as b. So e to the power of ax, that is 2x. Open the brackets, c1 cos h hyperbola, because you don't have any I value here. You don't have any I value here. So c1 cos h root 3x plus c2 sin h root 3x. So this in both the ways we can write, either c1 e to the power of a, just like a real and distinct root we can able to write, or in terms of hyperbola, that is trigonometrical hyperbolic functions, we can able to give the answer. In both the ways are correct. So there is no need to have the how to write the complementary function for the surd. Just 4 varieties you have to remember, that how to write a complementary function for real and distinct, real and repeated, complex and distinct, complex and repeated. Now let us take with few examples. The first example, solve the differential equation. solve the differential equation d square y by dx square minus 8 into dy by dx plus 15y is equal to 0. Okay, I've said it that before solving, going to the equation, a random equation like this, first we have to think that whether it is homogeneous or non-homogeneous. This equation is homogeneous because we don't have any function of x on the right hand side. Okay, so homogeneous value, we don't have any function of independent variable in the right hand side, homogeneous function. So we have only complementary function for such a type of equations. Now what is the order of the differential equation? The highest derivative appearing is 2. So 2 is the order of the differential equation. Now write it in the standard form. This is the standard form, that is f of capital D into y is equal to 0. Always try to write it in the standard form because sometimes the question will be given in expanded form. So better to write it in a standard form so that we can write the auxiliary equation directly by looking at the function which is there in the bracket like this. Okay, so f of d into y is equal to 0. Write it in a standard form. So we have d square minus 8d plus 15 into y is equal to 0. Okay, solve the auxiliary equation. So what is auxiliary equation? An equation brought by replacing capital D is equal to m. F of d is into y is equal to m. From there we have to get the auxiliary equation f of m is equal to 0. Why we are not solving f of d directly? Because d is a differential operator. We should not solve the differential operator. It is meaningless. Okay, so solving this equation, m minus 3 into m minus 5 is equal to 0, m is equal to 3 comma 5. 3 and 5 are distinct roots. Okay, different roots. So as I have said it before, how to write the complementary function? C1 e to the power of 3x plus C2 e to the power of 5x. If this is alpha, this is beta, and here is alpha and here is beta. So C1 e to the power of 3x plus C2 e to the power of 5x. Since f of x is equal to 0, the solution is given by y is equal to complementary function. We don't have any particular integral. There is no need to find any particular integral. So this is the solution for the given differential equation. Now go to the, so let's go to the some more complicated differential equation. D cube y by dx cube minus 6 into d square y by dx square plus 11 into dy by dx minus 6y is equal to 0. The order of the given differential equation is 3. The highest derivative appearing, we have four terms here. In these 4 terms we have 3 derivative terms are there. In this, among these derivative, the highest order is 3. So how many constant that we will get in the complementary function? 3 constant we should get it in the complementary function. And how many roots the auxiliary equation should possess? It should possess 3 roots. Now write it in the standard form. Writing in the given equation, the homogeneous equation, once again I am repeating, we don't have any q of x, so we have to find out only complementary function here. If q of x is there, then the solution will be expanded. We have to find out the particular integral also based on the type of the q of x values that is given. Okay, so now we have to find out only complementary function here. What is the auxiliary equation? M cube minus 6m square plus 11m minus 6 is equal to 0. Okay, either you can solve this by synthetic method or trial and error method, or you can use, sometimes you can use even the calculus also to find out the roots of the given equation. Now the roots are 3 distinct roots, 1, 2, 3. So 3 distinct roots. How to write that? C1 e to the power of x plus C2 e to the power of 2x plus C3 e to the power of 3x. Since f of x is equal to 0, the solution is given by C1 y is equal to, y is nothing but the function of x. So y is nothing but the function of x here. Okay, so but there is no need to represent this y y. It means that it is always a function of x. C1 e to the power of x plus C2 e to the power of 2x plus C3 e to the power of 3x. Now let's go for some complicated question. Fourth, the order, I'm increasing my order. Now d to the power of 4 minus 10 into d to the power of 3 plus 35 d square minus 15d plus 24 into y is equal to 0. This is fourth order differential equation, homogeneous linear differential equation with constant coefficients. Why it's constant coefficients? Here in each term, here 1 2 3 4 5 terms are there where we have maintained only constants here. So that is why we call it as a differential equation with constant coefficient, higher order differential equation. Why it is higher order differential equation? Because it is the order is more than 1 here. Okay, so it is higher order differential equation with constant coefficient, and also it's a linear. Okay, so linearity, homogeneity, and higher order and constant coefficients, all these terms we have to remember while solving the differential equation. Again, solving this differential equation either by trial and error method or factorizing method. I've used a factorizing method. But first I have got a trial and error method m-1, because we can't able to get solutions for all type of equations in calculus. So in that case we can go for the trial and error method. Okay, so m is equal to 1 is a trial. Now you do the synthetic division of the given auxiliary equation by m is equal to 1. Then we will get the another root. By solving this we will get another root. Okay, another 2 roots. So likewise going on, we can find out all the 4 roots required in the question. And what are the 4 roots? There are 4 distinct roots, 1 2 3 4. So how to write the complementary function? C1 e to the power of x plus C2 e to the power of 2x plus C3 e to the power of 3x plus C4 e to the power of 4x. So this is how the homogeneous equations with non-repeated roots can be given as a solution. Now you take how to write the, we'll take one example how to write a complementary function for repeated roots. In this example, this is a third degree equation, d cube y by dx cube plus 2 into d square y by dx square plus dy by dx is equal to 0. Now writing it in standard form, because it is in expanded form, so better to write it in the standard form. F of d into y is equal to 0. It is homogeneous. Now auxiliary equation, now take the bracket, now you replace d by m equal to 0. So m cube plus 2m square plus m is equal to 0. Take m as constant, m square plus 2m plus 1 is equal to 0. So more flexibly you can give the roots here, m plus, that is a plus b whole square, m plus 1 whole square. So m is equal to minus 1 minus 1. So 0 minus 1 minus 1. So there are 3 roots are there where one root is repeated. 0 minus 1 is repeated twice, minus 1 and minus 1. So how to write the complementary function? C1 plus C2 plus C3x, both should be kept in the bracket, into e to the power of minus x. So the roots are C1 plus C2 plus C3x e to the power of minus x is nothing but minus 1. Minus 1 is nothing but the root that you have got here. Suppose if you have minus 2, then you have to replace it by minus 2. Okay, so minus 2 and minus 2, if they are the root, then you have to replace it by minus 2. As I have got here minus 1, so my answer is minus x, e power minus x. Now going to the fifth example. Solve the differential equation d to the power of 4 by dx to the power of 4 minus 2 into d square y by dx square plus y is equal to 0. It's a fourth order differential equation, that is d to the power of 4. Write it in a standard form, d to the power of 4 minus 2d square plus 1 into y is equal to 0. What is the auxiliary equation? F of m is equal to 0. F of m is equal to 0. So m to the power of 4 minus 2m square plus 1 is equal to 0. Now it can be written as m square minus 1 whole square is equal to 0. Again a square minus b square, m minus 1 whole square, m plus 1 whole square. So m is equal to minus 1 and m is equal to plus 1. So minus 1 is repeated twice and plus 1 is repeated twice. So totally we have 4 roots here. So the complementary function should have 4 constants, c1, c2, c3, c4. So first you club these two, minus 1 minus 1, c1 plus c2x e power minus x plus c3 plus c4x e power plus x. So the complementary function can be written in this form. So this is a best example for repeated roots. Now let's go for the one example for imaginary roots. How to write the complementary function for imaginary roots. Solve the differential equation d cube. I have taken an example, d cube y by dx cube minus 2 into dy by dx plus 4y is equal to 0. Write it in a standard form, d cube minus 2d plus 4 into y is equal to 0. The auxiliary equation. How to get the auxiliary equation? Replacing d by m. So f of m is equal to 0. So dm cube minus 2m plus 4 is equal to 0. By trial and method, I have taken m is equal to m plus 2, that is m is equal to minus 2. I have substituted and started dividing with m is equal to minus 2. I got another two roots, minus 2 comma 1 plus r minus I. One is a real root and another two are the complex roots. One is a real root and another two are the complex roots. So how to write? Here, of course, we have three distinct roots, and the complementary function should have three constants, c1, c2 and c3. But in that three distinct roots, two are complex and one is a real. Even in this form also, the roots may appear. A real and a complex roots may also, the combination may also appear in the as a roots. Now c1 plus e to the power of minus 2, as minus 2 is a real root. And another one is 1 plus I, 1 plus r minus I, 1 plus r minus I, just like that. One a is the real part is 1 and complex part is 1. So I wrote is e power x and c2 cos x plus c3 sin x. So this is how we can give the complementary function for the combined roots, that is real and complex roots. Now going to the next example. Solve the differential equation d square minus 2d plus 5 into 5 whole square into y is equal to 0. Here I have got two complex roots, 1 plus r minus 2i, 1 plus r minus 2i. Okay, so here one root, 1 plus 2i is repeated twice, 1 plus 2i, 1 plus 2i, 1 minus 2i, 1 minus 2i. Totally 4 roots are there. So while writing the constant complementary function, we should have 4 constants here. So e power alpha is, as the real part in the both the cases same, so e power x, e power 1x, that is e power x, in open the bracket, c1 plus c2x, because one root is repeated, cos 2x plus c3 plus c4x sin 2x. So this is how we can give the complementary function for this variety of differential equation, this type of differential equation, that is d square minus 2d plus 5 whole square into y is equal to 0. Okay. Now the next question, solve the differential equation d square plus 4 in 4 whole cube minus whole cube into y is equal to 0. The auxiliary equation is m square plus 4 in whole cube is equal to 0. Now what are the roots? M square plus 4 is equal to 0, m is equal to plus or minus root 4. Okay, plus or minus, that is m square plus 4 is equal to 0, or m is equal to minus under root of minus negative value of 4, that is nothing but plus or minus 2i. So how many terms are there? 3 are there. So this is repeated twice, that is plus or minus 2i, plus or minus 2i and plus or minus 2i. Now totally how many roots are 2 into 3, that is 6 roots. So the complementary function should have 6 constants here, and it's moreover a homogeneous equation because we don't have any q value here. So plus or minus 2i, plus or minus 2i, plus or minus 2i. Plus 2i is repeated 3 times. Plus 2i is repeated 3 times. Plus 2i is repeated 3 times, and minus 2i is repeated 3 times, and minus 2i is also repeated 3 times. So how to write it? The complementary function is equal to c1 plus c2x plus c3x square. The x value is binomially increasing. The power of x is increasing from first term to second term to third term. First term we have x to the power of 0, but there is no need to represent as x to the power of 0. Anything to the power of 0 is 1. So there is no need to write. Simply if you represent it by c1, it's enough. c1 plus c2x plus c3x square cos 2x plus c4 plus c5x plus c6x square sin 2x. Okay, so this is how we write the complementary function for that more complicated function, differential equation, homogeneous differential equation, d square plus 4 whole cube into y is equal to 0. So that is how we can give the complementary function. The finding of the complementary function will be simple if the differential equation is simple. If the differential equation is complicated, then we'll get complex roots and stirreds, so on and so forth. So once again I'll repeat it. When the given differential equation have to be changed in the standard form, f of d into y is equal to 0. Give the auxiliary equation by representing capital D is equal to m. Then solve the algebraic equation either by trial and error method or synthetic division method, or you can use your calculus also. So try to find out the roots of the given auxiliary equation, and based on the type of the roots, the complementary function will be given. There are 5 different varieties of roots that we are able to get. That is real and distinct, real and repeated, complex and distinct, complex and repeated, and stirred. I have not taken example of stirred because it is same as that of the real and distinct roots. So these 4 varieties I have given for different type of examples. That's all. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.